Welcome to the Naked Peaches. I'm Anna.
I'm Taylor.
I'm Sierra. That we're going on a line.
Go. I love this. It's good to be back.
I'm so excited about this week's episode.
Me too. Okay, wait. Before we get into it, though, we need a couple updates. So one, our nicotine update.
Nicotine update. Okay, I have nicotine gum in my mouth as we speak. I've got a patch on. I'm still doing all that. I did take a single puff of a vape last night, and I keep just like doing it like once, you know, and I need to just stop. I need to just cut it out. But I'm like, oh, once won't hurt, you know, and it just tastes so good, and I need to get out of that habit.
So
but only once though.
Yeah.
Like that's some real progress from December.
Yeah, for sure.
So I have something that might work for you.
What?
I was reading Atomic Habits, and all of it, I'm like, yeah, this is plausible, but it's like, how am I actually going to hold myself accountable? And in the end, they talked about having contracts. There was this guy that was like, I really want to hit my goals. Like, I want to lose weight. I want to go to the gym every day. So he made a contract with his wife. And it was just like little things like, if I, like in your case, like if I were to take a hit off of the vape, I have to give Colin $100. Or I have to wear an ugly outfit to work. And then you have everybody sign it. And then you have like, you know, people holding you accountable, and I'm holding you to this contract.
That's so funny. It's funny you say that because I feel like one thing that has come up in this quitting journey for me is people are like, well, is Colin going to quit? He needs to quit. He needs to quit. And I'm like, okay, whatever. Like, I'm staying out of that. And I feel like people really want me to be like, no, you have to tell him to quit.
Really?
And yeah, I've had a lot of people that are like, no, he has to quit, like for you to quit. And I feel like one thing that just because of my experience with like codependency, alcoholism, addiction, lots of people in my life having that, I'm very like, what you do is your business. What I do is my business. Like, I'm not going to tell you to not vape or not do anything around me because like I've just gone down the rabbit hole of like trying to control someone else's addiction, and it makes you crazy. And so I think I've been very like hands off. Like I don't want him to feel like he has to monitor me at all. But I like the idea of making a contract with myself and having it be like, I have to wear an ugly outfit to work, or I have to like do something I don't want to do.
And what you can do too is like, if you don't necessarily want to like sign the contract with Colin, you could do it with like one of us.
Yeah.
Just that there is someone that knows about the contract
Yeah.
and like can hold you accountable. And then because you really want to make, like if you have a bad habit, you want to make it as awful as possible to like do it. Yeah, very unappealing.
That makes sense.
Like no mascara for a week.
No. Oh,
yeah.
Okay, girls, we're writing a contract after this episode's over. I only have 1 week left on the 21 milligram patch, and then I'm going down to the 14 milligrams. So it's getting into crunch time because it's getting close to like tapering off, you know?
Yeah.
So I need to get it together. But that's my update.
Okay, love it. Sierra, meal prep update.
I did it this week.
Yes, girl.
Again.
Yes,
and
queen.
I did all my shopping, and then I cooked it all and cleaned up the entire kitchen 2.5 hours.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Did you TikTok it like we talked about?
No.
I need you to make a TikTok so I can follow your
Yeah,
process.
I don't understand how you're doing this in 2.5 hours.
The
I really
people
don't.
need this
I just
content.
don't even have a process. I think the only thing that's actually helpful is I have insane ADHD, and because I've been cooking for 10 years and also cooking for my family and being on like a crunch, like, oh my God, I'm hungry. It's like, I know what to start first, what to chop up first, what to start cooking, you know, like the first thing I do always is I chop up the potatoes and I put them into roast because that takes like an hour, you know, and then I start on everything else.
I'm taking notes.
Yeah, mental notes. I'm so impressed.
And I buy some pre-made stuff too. Like I buy like a Spanish rice mix, like, you know, those ones in those little pouches that you get from like Costco. I buy a lot of those too because I'm fucking lazy, and you just pop them in for 90 seconds. And then I put it in each one of my little bowls. And then like I just do like, I try to stick to 1 or 2 veggies, and I usually just like steam them. And then that takes like 10 minutes per veggie. And then add them in, you know? Easy peasy lemon squeezy.
I'm proud of you.
Yeah,
2 weeks in a row,
I'm
girl.
impressed.
Get it.
It's such a time saver. And I'm just so bad. Like, I will eat bad if I don't have something planned, or if, like, let's say we come to podcast, but we talk too much, and then I get home late, and then I'm extra hungry. I'm going to eat a bagel and 7 cookies. Like, but when I get home and there's something in the fridge, I pop it in the microwave for 2 minutes. Look, there it is. I have a meal. And I told myself if I'm still hungry afterwards, then I can go and have a cookie, or I can go and have like a treat. But just my one rule is to not do it before, because I know it's game over.
Yeah, it's smart. Last night I came home from pole. Let me tell you what my nourishing snack was that I ate. a Rice Krispie treat with Nutella on it, and an entire bag of Skinny Pop.
Yum.
I mean, that's not that bad.
Yum.
There's some hazelnuts in there.
There's like no protein, nothing that is gonna like refuel me after my hard workout. It's just like empty.
Whenever I have like an exercise or something that I want a healthy snack, I always grab like a Chomps and an apple. Best of both worlds.
Yeah,
Get a little protein, get a little bit of carb, good to go.
I need some Chomps. in my
Costco,
house.
Costco.
man.
Yeah.
Okay, I have a mini update too.
Yes.
On my giving myself grace and okay, I didn't talk about this last week, but I talked about this like weeks past about the whole like it's like when I was talking about just like being like just a chill like zen, like I'm trying to be like a zen person in general. I'm like
I feel like you are
especially-
pretty zen.
Yeah, but I'm trying to get like I'm trying to like never have like I am in full control of my emotions. I'm
You're trying to
be, like,
vibrate
as,
at a different frequency
yeah,
than
like
the
I'm
rest
trying
of
to be
us.
like this. I am not bothered by anything. So
Well, I feel like also you're always it seems zen on the outside, but like on the inside that may not always be
Yes.
what's happening.
yes, it's the internal rage that I'm
Yeah.
trying to quiet. So last night, by the time this comes out, I will have already done this, but I'm going to a bachelorette party this weekend. We are going to Park City. We're going skiing. And yesterday I was like, oh, I need to go buy my my rental for my ski boots and stuff. And I was like, let me just double check exactly what day we're going skiing. Blah, blah, blah. You guys, I booked my plane ticket for the wrong day. I booked my plane ticket for Wednesday and we're going on Thursday. And I've had this booked for so long.
But hey, that's earlier, not later, right?
Yeah, earlier, but I'm like, I was
Extra
just
day to yourself, baby.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
I was
that's what
gonna-
it is.
No, no,
Self-care.
no. I freaked out. I was like,
Anna's like, not zen.
No. I was like, I'm gonna show up at the airport and do like what? Like it's like no one's getting there. Like I'm gonna be alone by myself for 24 hours in Salt Lake City. I don't
Ew.
care about Salt Lake City.
Okay,
I mean,
yeah.
it's like it's fine, but it's just like it's not like I'm gonna be in New York for a day or like
Yeah.
it's like 24 hours in Salt Lake City. And also it's like I'm going with a bunch of like snow gear and ski gear and like my pumping shit and all like I'm just like one extra day of like
That's
by
true.
myself, not even part of this party that I am excited for. So I paid to switch my plane ticket to be like the day later. Buying a last minute plane ticket, switching it is really expensive. I don't even want to say how much money I spent last night to switch this by 24 hours, but I will say I spent way more money than if I just would have rented a hotel room and hung out by myself and done lavish things for,
Honestly,
Yeah.
I probably would have done the same though.
yeah. And you know what? And then this morning I woke up and I'm like, Anna, you are a piece of shit. You suck at life. You're horrible. Everything. I was like, and then I was like, you know what, Anna? We are giving ourselves grace.
I want to cradle your little
Calming the fuck
face
down.
and kiss you like a 90-year-old grandma.
But I was like, this is literally. I have so many emails, you guys, with the dates. Like, how did I do this? Where like, who books a plane ticket for the wrong day? I've never done
I'm
this
sorry,
before.
me. Like
Really?
I've done so much stuff. I've even missed my flight to the point where Oscar had to leave without me, and I had to go the next day.
What?
What?
This was like
a family vacation?
How did that
no, this was like we were coming to visit, and it was when we lived in San Francisco. So Ezra was like 7 months old, and me and Miranda were like, we're gonna go downtown shopping and then like go get my new license. But of course, ADHD me and like being in my early 20s, but time management was just not my thing. And then when I get there, I realized I couldn't get my ID in time, which I needed to fly. So then I had to wait until the next day, and I sobbed because I didn't want to be by myself, and I had Ezra too, and he was a little baby. And then that next day, Ezra shit right before we had to get on the plane. It was
No.
literally boarding. Shits all the way up his back. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me?
What do you do in that situation?
Cry.
Like you have to get on the plane and there's poop dripping all over you and your baby.
Honestly, I ran to the bathroom and I changed him as fast as possible, but like I had him in the ergo, so there was just shit in the ergo, so I just like had to put a bunch of paper towels in there so I could put him back in. Because he was
my
a fat
God.
baby.
Yeah.
He was huge. At 6 months old, he weighed well over 20 pounds.
Wow. I have
Wow.
a story that might make you guys feel better
Please,
too.
please.
Okay, so on my first ever work trip that I went on, I was like 20 years old, had never traveled to work, like had no idea how any of this shit worked. And I like waited too long to book my hotel room. So I had to book at a hotel that was separate from like where the conference was. And I'm like looking, it's in Vegas. I'm like looking at the map and I'm like, oh, it's like a block away. It's fine. But in Vegas, a
Oh,
block is
God.
a fucking mile.
Yeah.
And it's like in August, so it's hot as fuck. And like, I booked all this on my debit card too. Like, red flag. Booked the hotel on my debit card, paid for all my like cabs and stuff on my debit card, just everything on my debit card. And didn't know anything about like how being reimbursed works or any of that stuff. So like, you know, I'm just like spending money left and right, not saving my receipts, like not thinking about like how am I going to get this money back from the company when I'm return from my trip.
Oh my God.
This gives me a literal, like, it makes my stomach unwell.
Right? Like, well, I feel like my boss should have maybe like walked me through how to do this in retrospect.
Absolutely.
But
Yeah.
I'm like, I just had no fucking idea and I was so dumb. Also, this trip, I was just unhinged. Like, I had just broken up with my ex and I was there and I like purposely slept with one of his friends who lived in Vegas to get back at him.
I love this.
And
I had drummer.
No. I had just gotten switched to the copper IUD and it was my first period on my copper IUD. Do you guys know about what happens on the copper IUD when you
No, I just know that it's not hormonal, correct?
Yeah, the periods on the copper IUD are like a fucking bloodbath. Like, it's the most terrifying thing you've ever seen. I literally had it for a month and got rid of it because I was like, I cannot live like this. Like,
it's like a worse period than a normal period.
yes, you super plus
Probably like
deluxe
after giving
tampons,
birth.
changing every hour plus a pad. Literally, you're bleeding through onto your sheets every night. Like, it is horrific. And I hadn't started it yet. And I'm fucking hooking up with this dude that I'm like, oh, I'm getting back at him. And then we like, it's like, it was not very good. We finish and I get up off the bed and there is just a pool. Like, it looks like Dexter has visited this hotel room.
No.
Like,
What
the sheets
was
are
his
ruined.
reaction?
I was like, I just didn't know that was gonna, like, I have no idea what happened. And he was just kind of quiet. And I've since learned some stuff about him where I'm like, this guy is into some shady shit. So I feel like that's probably not the worst he's seen.
Yeah, he's probably into it.
Yeah. So like he didn't really have much of a reaction,
Okay.
which was good. But
Yeah.
I was mortified. And I'm
Of
like
course.
20 years old. So like at the time I'm like, oh my God, I can't let a man know that I have a period, you know? Like
Yes.
And it just was like, the whole thing was a nightmare. And so like, meanwhile, I'm also working. Like, I'm going to work events and like doing this on the side at night. And anyway, like by the time this like shit show of a trip ends and I'm like leaving, I get to the airport and I like go to get on my flight and I realize that it's already left the airport. And I had done the time I had gotten like Pacific time and the time that Vegas is in confused. I missed my flight. And I had to pay for a new flight, again, on my debit card. I don't have a credit card at this point. And I'm just like out like thousands of dollars at the end of this trip. I go back to like be reimbursed, thinking I'm gonna like get the money that day. And like
It's like 30 days.
the accountant person is like, you're gonna get this on your next paycheck. And I was like, no, I need the money now. Like, you don't understand. And they were like, I'm sorry, like you should have used a credit card. And I like just so many regrets, so much shame, trauma. So, you know, we've all had a trip that didn't go according to plan.
I really do feel a lot better now. So
Okay, good.
That is like shit after shit after shit.
Yeah.
What did you do when you couldn't get the money though?
I think I asked my dad to help me.
You were like, please.
Yeah, I was like, I need whatever you can give me right now.
Oh my God, that's so sad.
Yeah.
It was like your boss should have
Sorry,
said
y'all.
something though. Like it's
Yeah.
like you have a brand new employee that's like that young, clearly has never done a work trip before. Like you need to sit them down and talk to them about how
And there's
to
like
do
apps
this.
to do that stuff too, to like track your shit, right?
Yeah, but like they
Well,
should
this was also like, 2010, so
Yeah.
like
That's
they didn't
true.
have
but
Expensify
they should have
back
explained it to you. They should have explained how expenses work and how to do that.
And when you're gonna get your
Yes.
money back and maybe get a credit card.
Oh my God.
So if anybody's listening, hasn't gone on their first work trip, get a credit card before you go on that shit.
For real.
Yes. And get the points.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm a huge fan of points.
Chase Sapphire Reserve.
Yeah. Okay, we'll have another episode where we talk all about credit card points because it's my passion.
Oh my God, yes.
It's Oscars too. I
Yeah.
think he talked about you guys fighting over like, or people at Acorns like fighting over who was gonna like
Get
pay for the
referral.
bill.
Yeah, pay for the bill and they used to have like referral bonuses and we could deep dive on this. We won't.
When I had to buy this couch on my personal card, because then there was something happening with like the fraud issue on the Naked Peach card, I was like, yes, baby.
Yes.
So many fucking points.
All the points.
Yes.
I love that. Okay, we should get into our topic today.
Should we?
It's been
You guys don't want to talk about copper IUDs?
yeah.
And Trip's gone wrong. And Anna's just being super fucking zen.
Yeah. So the moral of my story was that when I was driving over here and I was still annoyed with myself this morning, I was like, Anna, I started breathing. I was like, it's gonna be okay. I put on a song to make myself feel happy, and I was like, I am letting this go. And you're just like your stupid little mistake is just funny now, and it will forever only be funny, and like you're not allowed to like regret this at all. And so I'm now zen again. So it took a few hours, but I think I could have really spiraled for multiple days. And
It's
I
true.
didn't.
Yeah.
And with each time that something like this happens, it'll probably be your spiral will be less and less.
Yeah. And then one day it'll happen, and I'm just like, nothing. I'm just gonna be zen.
You're just gonna be
No
a leaf
feelings.
floating in this wind.
It's gonna be great.
Just seeing you as a monk.
Yeah. I'm gonna be really zen monk. It's gonna be great. Okay, you should intro our topic today.
Okay, so today I'm so excited. We're talking all about building a brand, building an iconic brand, and creating content, becoming the content farm that is Naked Peach. How we got from the beginning of our journey to where we're at today. And there's so much to talk about. There's so much to tell, but I'm just really excited to get into it. This is like something we get questions about all the time. People are always asking, you know, about how we make our content, how we built our brand, you know, just kind of like telling us that they respect and admire those parts of our business. And so I feel like kind of deep diving into those will be really helpful for people who are following us, who are business owners that are just starting out, photographers who want to grow, even like just content creators who want to like get started. If this is something that you're interested in for your business or yourself, like we have lots of like little nuggets to share today.
I'm so excited. This is gonna be a great one. And like you said, a ton of people have asked us.
Yeah,
So,
me too. And the only thing that comes to mind is that the number one thing is just consistency.
For sure. Consistency. I mean, I think consistency applies to both brand building and content creation.
Yes.
It's like, it's relevant to all of it. And, you know, when we first started, so Sierra started the business and it was Sierra Gods and Boudoir. And what was your branding process like when you like made the website with Oscar?
I was like, that looks good.
It was like a little cursive name logo with like a little pink peach sort of thing.
Yeah.
And
I wanted it, like, in the beginning, I just wanted something, like, very minimalist, and I just wanted, like, the work to kind of showcase, like, especially on my website. So that's kind of, like, what I was going for, and I think at the time that's, like, what was really in, whereas, like, now I feel like a lot of websites are very, like...
we're maximalist now,
Yeah,
baby.
maximalist. That is what I was thinking about. Whereas, like, then that's kind of, like, where my process was.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah.
It was quite an evolution. So when we started working together, Sierra hired me as a contractor to do a social media strategy. So we like sat down and talked about her goals. We talked about competitors. We talked about...
I wish I could go back and listen to our phone calls.
I know. I wish I'd like saved the recordings or something. But we talked, we talked all about kind of like what your challenges were, what you wanted to work on. And I basically made like a deck for her.
And I basically was like, will you join me?
Yeah, it very quickly evolved from like contractor providing a service to like, okay, we're better together, like we should partner. And like the strategy I made you, I feel like I do actually still have that. And it's come so far from what it was.
will you
But,
post
like,
a couple like screenshots
Well,
on
it was
the story?
it was just like the beginning, you know, so
Yeah.
like minimalist, but it was like those kind of like stepping stones
Yeah.
to get to where we are now.
And I feel like some of the things that we talked about then are still things we do now. Because, like, I remember a big part of, like, what we talked about. Like, when I first met you and we were talking, I was like, oh, my God, this girl has, like, so much personality. She's so fun. She, like, makes me feel comfortable right away. Like, I understood immediately, like, why people would be like, I want to get naked and take pictures with her, you know? Because you just have that personality
And
where
that
people
is
are
my
comfortable with you.
and that is like my why. So I'm glad that that's how you felt, because that's what I wanted to embody
Yeah.
and like show to people through like our brand and through social media.
Exactly.
I want to be like, yeah, I'm cool, bitch. Come hang out with me.
And I feel like
Show me your butt cheeks.
when we first made the strategy, it was like, okay, the brand needs to really center around your personality because you have so much personality and it's not necessarily coming through yet, but it can. And then as we became a team, it was like, okay, the brand is now all of our personalities. And the brand is that we have this team of crazy personalities with this crazy energy that makes people feel comfortable and safe and at home and like they're just hanging out with the girls. And that's our brand now. And I feel like it's like the same kind of idea, but just kind of grown to expand with the team, which is cool.
You have
It's
to
like
adapt.
its own thing out in the world. Like this
Yeah.
brand has like grown above anything
Yeah.
now, and it's like she's stunning. She's a stunning little brand.
And what I like about it too is it just also showcases, like, since the beginning, I've always just wanted to be transparent with who we are. And that's why, like, when we make our content and our questions for our group, it's actually like questions that I would ask my friends, you know, like stuff that I want to talk about, you know?
Totally. Yeah. And like another thing I really wish I still had is the document that we wrote all of our name ideas on, because I don't remember most of them.
We don't have that anymore?
I can't find it.
I'll look for it.
Okay.
I feel like I never deleted it, so we have to have
Wait,
it.
will you look for it right now? Because I think it'd be really funny to read off some of the ones. Because I
When
know,
did you guys first start talking about like the name change?
I think it was,
Like, right as soon as we added you on, we're like, we
Yeah.
need to get this started. We want to, like, really rebrand. We're not Sierra Godson anymore.
Yeah.
You know, like, we really wanted to get the ball rolling.
Yeah.
So it had to have been, like, January or February
yeah. And then we actually
of
launched
2021. Yeah.
we launched the rebrand in May of 2021. So
Yeah.
it was from January to May that we were figuring out the name, working out the details. We hired a designer. So once we figured out what the name was, we made a vision board, and I really wanted this like sort of retro funky 70s look. And so I saved a bunch of stuff that was kind of in that vein. And we knew we wanted pink. We knew we wanted it to feel like feminine, but also really fun. And we shared all that with Jenna, who I've worked with for years and just really love. And I knew that she would be able to like translate this into something really cool. And she like knocked it out of the park. She made us like the coolest brand, and it was exactly what we wanted. And I feel
Literally.
like that's such an important thing too, is like sometimes, you know, I'm in these Facebook groups for like, you know, Portland women in business or whatever. And sometimes when people are starting their business, they'll try and make their logo and their brand in like Canva or something. Don't do that.
I see that all the time. Invest in that. If that's the one thing you invest in your goddamn logo.
Pay a fucking designer. Pay somebody who went to school to do this, who knows what they're doing.
Yeah. Well, it's funny because it's like design is like, it's like such a, obviously like a lot of, it's such a skill set, right? And it's like, you can say that about a lot of things, but it's like, these people literally focus on this. They focus on creating these logos. They focus on like a logo that's actually going to match your brand, that's going to involve all these things. And it's like, you might like look at stuff online and be like, oh, but it looks so simple. Like, I can't whip that up. It's just like, it's always going to be a little off, no matter what you do. And like, it's just always not going to be exactly what you had in mind. But it's like, that's why you literally work with them, is to do that. Like,
yeah, exactly.
And before, like, my Sierra Godson branding, it was literally just like Sierra Godson. There was nothing like that really like stood out compared to other like boudoir businesses, you know? So I was really excited when we got started on this.
Yeah, I mean, a designer just has a different eye than you. They've studied this. They understand there's all these different sort of components that go into it, like visually things that are happening.
I found it.
unconsciously. You did?
Oh my God.
Okay, read us some of the
Tell
names
us
on the
the names.
list.
There's a lot of X'd out.
Read us the best X'd out ones.
There's Peach's Boudoir, Peachy Babes, Peach
No.
Studio, Peekaboo Peach, Peach and Lace,
Peach and Lace?
No.
No, not
That's
Peach and
cheesy.
Lace.
That's
That
cheesy.
is, I'm sick.
Peach and Cream Boudoir,
No.
Magic Peach, Lovely Peach, Dripping Peach.
Dripping Peach.
Wow.
Wow, that is...
That's
Well, I
like-
remember it was between Naked Peach or Drip. Was it? Yeah, or it was Drip.
Oh.
But then we're like, oh, it could be like, because like when you think of drip, it could be very sensual, but it could also be like, look at my drip. So I didn't want anyone, like, we don't want people to be confused.
Yeah. When I told Angie and Amanda about Drip, they were screaming. They were like, I cannot believe we were almost Drip Boudoir.
Yeah, I totally agree now.
I don't think I'd ever heard drip.
Yeah.
As
Well, now you know.
Wow.
It's
No, Naked
embarrassing
Peach is
to
a lot
admit
better.
that we had all these like peach and cream.
Real girls,
and Lace.
real girls boudoir.
No.
Dime Piece Studio.
No.
It's
The
funny.
Confidence House. That's kind of like a cool name, but
Yeah.
maybe for like a book.
Yeah.
Naked
Yeah.
Peach, The Confidence House. Write like a book.
That could be another episode.
Yeah.
The others, Cloud Queen Boudoir. Well, okay, I have to tell everybody that this was more of like a fucking word vomit. We're like, we're just going to put out
Yeah.
so much whatever until the right thing comes.
And you
So-
have to do that. You have to just get it all out there.
Yeah.
You know, put your bad ideas out there, because For every 100 bad ideas, there's going to be one naked peach.
And there was a lot of good names, but like a lot of them were X'd out because people already had the names.
Or something too similar.
Yeah. Seductive Babe Boudoir.
Jesus Christ.
The Boudoir Click.
No! I'm not okay.
My favorite's Cloud Queen.
I don't understand Cloud Queens. What was the inspo behind
I think
that?
so. Part of what I remember doing was I'm just gonna make a list of words that I like. So cloud, I like the word
yes.
cloud. I like the word queen.
Got it.
Just like
Peach
pretty.
and Grind.
Peach and grind.
It sounds like a smoothie shack.
Like a bikini smoothie shack.
Yes,
Yes.
Peach and
Yeah.
Grind. Bad Peach Boudoir. It's not
Rotten
terrible.
peach. It just makes me think of rotting fruit.
But look, there's Naked Peach right there.
Wow.
So cute. Was Naked Peach always one of like the top contenders when you guys made this list originally?
I think so, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it wasn't like immediately clear. It wasn't like, oh, that's the one. You know, we had to go through a process. I remember we shared it with a lot of our friends and got feedback. That's another thing is like, I think sometimes people are scared to share their ideas with people, but like you need to share them because people are going to see things you don't see or notice things you don't
and it's
notice.
also like you want to know how people are going to react to your brand because to you it could be really cool. Like before I was like, yeah, drip is so cool because in my head I'm thinking about water dripping down someone's body or like honey. But then when someone was like, that's kind of like maybe cultural like appropriation, but I was like, but I wasn't meaning it like that. Like about like wearing a bunch of like jewelry or like, you know, that drip. I was thinking of like a sensual drip.
Yeah.
But then once they said that, I was like, no.
Yeah. And I remember I liked Peach Babe too. And a lot of my friends were like, Babe is going to be like, I know everybody says Babe right now, but that's going to be out, you know, like that's not going to be the way we refer to each other forever.
Yeah.
Like now people say bestie or girlies and that's not going to be around forever.
What I like
either.
about Naked Peach is that Peach has always iconically been about the ass.
Exactly.
And then you're going to get naked in our studio.
It's
Naked Peach.
timeless.
Yes. She is Chanel. She is timeless.
The Coco Chanel of Boudoir. No, wait, Coco Chanel's canceled. Never mind.
It's true.
A lot of them are canceled right now.
They-
Let's not list them all.
A timeless pantsuit. Without a brand. A labelless.
It's like a diamond necklace, you know?
A diamond
Like,
necklace. Yes. Wow, I love that. And that's what it should be. Like your brand should be fun to talk about and like you should be able to like create all these sort of like metaphors and stuff around it. Like you want something that you feel really good telling people like this is the name of my company. You want to be excited to talk about it. You want it to like be visual in people's minds. There's so many factors. So it's like really brainstorming, spending a lot of time on that piece and then paying an expert to create the visuals for you. Like just those are like so I feel like those things were so foundational to it
It's
having
literally the
impact.
foundation.
Yeah. It's like everything we do has our logo on it and like our name and those visuals. And so it's like people are seeing it over and over and over again. Like it has to be perfect.
Well, and I get just so many people talking about how much they love our name.
yeah.
They're like, I love it. It's so perfect. Like,
In the branding,
Yeah.
like people really respond to it. And it's because we put the time into it. We paid for somebody to make it look the way we wanted it to look. Like the way it's like we knew how we wanted it to feel and to make people respond, but we couldn't have created that ourselves without someone else doing it.
I feel like that's the magic in a designer because it's like, it's so hard because there's like all these like things where like, well, I kind of like this piece and this and this and this. And then they kind of put it together for you. And then you're like, shit, I would have never done that. Like I would have never been able to do that.
Exactly.
So it's like, pay for it. Don't find, you know, your fucking nephew that's in graphic design school. Find someone that has a tiny bit of,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
or
even
like with
our-
branding.
Even like the first website, because Oscar designed the first website, right? And
Yeah.
obviously Oscar like is trained in design, and it was a good website. But it's like if you look at that website versus the new version of the website that we have now, it's like it is just more aligned with the brand in general.
Well, and
you know?
I love Oscar so much, but I think that he had a difficult time. Like he wants someone to tell him exactly what the vision was, and I didn't really have one. I was just like, I kind of like this website and this one, and I like this and that and this and that. And I feel like he was kind of like, tell me exactly what to do, and I'm like, I can't. So it was nice with Jenna because it was just like we kind of just word vomited on her, and then she just wrapped it all up in a beautiful little box and just
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's what
here.
I'm saying. It's like she's trained to do that, you know, where it's like
Yeah.
Oscar, like he has that design background, but he's also like, Oscar's a CTO. He has other things going on in his
He's
life.
busy.
He's like, you know, and he's not like doing like design work for people every single day constantly. So it's like, even though he understands those principles and like what he did is way better than like had any one of us sat down and tried to like make that website, you know, it's still, we needed that next step of then Jenna like taking it and being like, okay, this is like what the brand has now become. Like, let's evolve this whole website with all these ideas to really like make it match everything.
Yeah, exactly.
She
Shout
did
out
great.
to Jenna
We
at
love
Lunar
Jenna.
Creative.
An angel.
Yeah.
Well, what was so nice too is I remember our first thing with like seeing the logos and we were kind of scared. We're like, we didn't know this was the starting point. When we saw them and our logo was there in the first time and we were shooketh.
Yeah, yeah, it was gorgeous. Yeah, I mean, I feel like as far as the like visual and aesthetic components of the brand, that's kind of how all that was established. Another piece of brand building that I think you, Sierra, are really good at is like the physical part of the experience of the brand out in the world. Like, I feel like I think a lot about the Gosha, I'm sorry you can't come in right now. I think a lot about all of the content and the marketing piece of what does it look like? How is it written? Does it sound right? Does it look right? And, you know, I remember there was one time we were working on like some sort of like client ordering process. And you were like, I feel like that doesn't fit the brand. And I just remember that because I feel like it's true. And like, I feel like you're really good at thinking about like, okay, the brand experience for the customer in real life, you know?
Oh yeah, I'm psychotic about it.
So like, what are some things that you think are really important when it comes to that?
If you have products, the packaging. I mean, even if you think about it, all of your favorite orders when they come in the mail and it's like packaged pretty, think about how that makes you feel. Mm-hmm. You know, so it's like when you get these photos and you get you finally come to pick up your products and they're packaged so pretty with like the stickers and the fun tissue paper. I don't know. I think it creates a feeling. You know what I mean?
And for anyone who hasn't picked up the order, we have these like adorable bags that have like our cute little logo on them and the tissue paper that's like pink and peach and it has the logo all over that and everything's like wrapped up in it and it's like, it's very like, it's fun. It looks like a gift to yourself that you come pick up basically.
And then we give you Naked Peach stickers in your bag so that you can go out there and show off Naked Peach to the world.
And I also might have been a little psychotic about our closet because I also want to make that feel like you're stepping into pure luxury that you don't get in your everyday life. You're walking in a closet that is the most beautiful closet you've ever seen. It's white, it has lights, it has glass. It has, you know, all of our really expensive lingerie and Louboutins and everything you could ever want. And I just like feel like that is a huge part of the experience too. It's just walking and be like, damn, this is really nice. Like, I'm really treating myself. Like, this is such a great experience. And I just like, when people walk into our studio, I really want them to feel like the value of what they're doing, you know?
Yeah, I mean, you know, it's an investment and it should feel like it was worth it when you walk in the door.
Yeah, and like obviously the photography is worth it, but I want it to be worth it from the moment you see the door.
Mm-hmm. No. You're cut off.
That was the last time I'll say that word, but it is true. Because we even had someone paint a mural on it.
Mm-hmm. Stunning. She's stunning. We're not deep diving on her. Wait, okay. I have something to add though to what you were saying is like, and I think this will go into the content creation stuff a little bit. It's like, okay, we have all the physical parts of the brand. We have like the, you know, the studio and like all the like the product experiences. But I feel like there's also this, just with all of us that work there, there's this aspect too of like we like live and breathe the brand, you know? And so whether it's like what you're seeing from like our content that we put out, like just like the TikToks and reels of like us and our personalities to like when you're on the phone consultation, when you are in the studio during your session, when like we're chatting, when you're getting your glam done, when you come back for the image reveal, it's like we like embody like everything that we're always like talking about constantly. And so I feel like that's like, I always like think about that too. And it's every time like with somebody, I'm like each one of us like represents the brand and like has to show up in that way. And so it's like, how do we do that? Because people will always come in and be like, oh my God, like I feel like I know you guys already, or I feel like we're best friends. And it's like, that is like the best compliment because that's what I want. Like I want you to feel comfortable before you're like even stepping foot inside the studio, you know?
Yeah. And it's like, yeah, we all have this responsibility to, when we're sitting there with the client, when we're doing their photos, to live up to that. And to be like, okay, you feel like we're besties, like I'm going to be your bestie. Like this is the experience we're going to have today. And I feel like it's like,
it's starting up. It almost feels like, because like when I grew up, my favorite thing to do was just me and my friends going and doing photo shoots and just having fun. And I feel like I really wanted to give that experience to other people. Mm-hmm. You know, like I'm like we're just best friends and we're like want to take some hot photos, but the fact of the matter is they're actually gonna be good. Mm-hmm. Because oh my God, the first fucking sexy photos me and my friends took of each other. We sent them to someone on AIM, and they immediately blocked us.
Oh my God.
So bad.
Will you post them in the Facebook group, please?
No, they're very old. Like, I was like 14.
Oh, yeah,
no,
don't
no,
post
no.
those.
Sorry. No.
Yeah. Well, and just because, like, they're gone now.
Yeah, okay, terrifying.
Yeah, terrifying. But, like, just thinking about, like, you know, I want to make an experience where we're just having fun together like you would with a friend. Like, when you're just like, hey, can you, like, get a good shot of my titties so I can send to this guy? Or, like, because I want to post it here. Like, I want people to come and feel like that's what we're doing.
Totally. Yeah.
Well, and it's, like, it's genuine. It's, like, we live and breathe the brand because, like, we actually care about it. And, like,
we love
actually
doing
believe it. Yeah. Whereas I think it would come across... I think it'd be very obvious if we didn't. Like, if we were faking it or if it was something that was very, like...
Could you imagine faking it?
No, I mean, I'm not that good at, like, I just feel like you'd tell. If I, like, was truly showing up every day and I, like, didn't care about what I was doing, you'd be able to tell. Like,
yeah, I feel the same with me. Because I just feel like also with having ADHD, as soon as something does not interest me, like, it is so, I feel so bad. I love my 10-year-old son. But when he talks to me about video games, my ears shut off immediately. And I go into, like, and then, like, at the end, I cannot even tell you what he said. When he starts, like, trying to tell me about some mod in a game. Turns off. So, yeah.
It has to be something you love and care about. And I think that kind of transitions nicely into, like, the content creation piece because, you know, again, like, because the brand is our personalities and our team, it's all authentic to kind of who we are. And the content creation process isn't, okay, I'm going to act and play some character. It's we're being ourselves when we're making content. And that's the only reason it's sustainable. Because if we all were not only shooting and editing, but, like, managing the business every week and then also coming to content day and having to fully act and, like, put on a different show and be someone totally different, like, we wouldn't be able to be consistent with that. You know, we have to be able to just show up and kind of be our crazy ass selves when we're making content.
Yeah.
Especially when we're all together.
Yeah, and that's why everyone wants to keep coming to content days, and that's why everyone keeps doing it and why it, you know, comes across in the videos. So I think that's, like, really important. But as far as, like, okay, just to backtrack a little bit, people often ask about, I want to make videos, but I don't know where to start. And my best advice is to just fucking start.
Yep.
Like, because it's always going to feel scary. Coming up with, like, a perfect plan of, like, I have the exact right setup and I have the exact right outfit and I know exactly the video I'm going to make. You might spend 2 hours making that TikTok and it'll flop. Like, I swear to God, the TikToks that we put the absolute least time into are the ones that do the best. And the ones that we put hours into, they flop. So, like, that, you can't predict how something is going to perform. You have to just start and get in the habit of making videos.
Yes. Like the book I'm reading, Atomic Habits. They talk about how really famous comedians will literally write jokes every single day. And it's the same thing. Like, if you want to make videos, make a video, make a time, put it in your routine and set it as a habit and make a video every single day. And then some might suck. Just like when a comedian writes a joke every day, it's probably going to suck ass. But then there's going to be a few that are good. But you just have to do it every day.
Exactly. And, like,
taking my own advice.
The environment of, like, the way social media is now is that it's a volume game. Like, you know, once upon a time, it was about having, like, this perfectly curated feed and everything being perfect. Oh, my God, Gosha. He is just banging down the door. You know, that used to be what social media was about, and that is, like, those days are long gone. Like, now it's about, like, showing up in people's feeds, catching their attention and being seen,
The algorithm.
and playing the algorithm. So, you know, it's a volume game. You have to just be putting content out there, and a lot of it is gonna flop, a lot of it is gonna suck, and that's fine. Like, you know, you just have to keep doing it and be consistent, and some of them are gonna be really good, and your customers are going to find you from those videos.
Yeah, and the ones that you think are really bad are actually the ones that are going to pop off.
Yeah.
Yeah, you never know. It's so, well, and, like, there's times where it's, like, we'll just go through periods where you might be putting a bunch of stuff out there and then you just, like, hit this high in the algorithm where you happen to get a lot of videos at one time that just start to pop off for, like, a week or something. And then for multiple weeks, you're just going to have none pop off. And it's, like you said, if you just keep putting it out there, like, it's gonna go back up. It ebbs and flows. But if you, like, hit the lull and you're like, well, I guess I'm done with content now, and it's like, okay, well, you, like, shot yourself in the foot because it's like it will go back up eventually.
Exactly. And there's, I mean, it's such a, it's so finicky. I mean, TikTok is designed to keep us posting. So like you're never going to be consistently hitting 1 million views with every video. It's like designed to make you like keep kind of finessing and tweaking your strategy so that your content is getting better and better. And so it ebbs and flows with like the views you get. And like, you know, I think that we can be really hard on ourselves and be like, wow, we haven't had a video with 10K views in like 3 weeks. But it's like, you know, if 5,000 people are seeing most of our videos, that's still 5,000 people that are experiencing our brand and, you know, connecting with us. And like, that's still a lot. Like if you walked into a room with 5,000 people, you'd be like, holy shit, this is a fuck ton of people.
Yeah.
It's sometimes is really easy to like downplay when it's like, that's 5,000 human beings.
Yeah. Even 500. I mean, it's like,
true.
I feel like the way the algorithms work and just the way social media is, it distorts our understanding of numbers. And like, you know, you get so addicted to like the highs of the numbers and it's like, it needs to be a million, it needs to be a million. But that's like, that's so many fucking people. Like, and it's okay if not every video is a million views.
I think the most important thing is just to play the long game.
Exactly.
As long as you stay consistent every single day, where you're at now versus 10 years, it's always going to be so much better.
Always going to trend up. Even if it's the slowest, most gradual, it's like, you know, this tiny curve 10 years from now is going to be up there. Like, you know, and it just, I think another important piece too is like not putting all your eggs in one basket, because if you rely solely on one platform for all of your like, you know, engagement with your customers, like eventually that platform is going to change.
And it can be so easily taken away.
Exactly.
Especially if you're in our business.
Yeah, you don't own any of these, you know, social media platforms that you use, so you have to really diversify yourself. You have to have a different strategy for Instagram versus TikTok versus Facebook versus Pinterest, and then, you know, make an email list, a place where a thing that can't be taken away from you.
Yeah.
Like we made a podcast. Like just you have to have different ways of reaching your audience, because you never know how the algorithms are going to change, and you never know, like, you know, when they're going to make a massive shift that makes it impossible to reach people without paying, or, you know, so it's just like, I think it's important to kind of like evolve with the platforms and evolve with the trends and not get stuck doing things a certain way, but like kind of continue to grow. And how can I grow this brand to adapt to whatever the environment is now, you know?
Yeah. Well, and that's also like a good way to view like the strength of your brand, right? Because like if your brand can't survive outside of like one thing, then it's like it probably isn't like strong enough. You know, it's like it needs to be able to adapt to whatever it's on, so that no matter where people see the content, they're like, oh, that's Naked Peach. Like we know this style, we know this energy, whatever it is that's attributed to your brand, like it should just be seamless.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, one thing I'm going to give you credit for was social. And at this point, do you know, like when I first joined you guys in the spring of 2021, how many followers do we have like on TikTok?
Well, I know when we started together, I think it was 1,100 was about how many we had. Because you'd had one video where it was like, do you remember the like It's Tricky trend where people would like run off to either side for like which thing? You and Kaylina had made one. And it had done pretty well, and there were like 11,000 followers from just that one video. Or 1,100, I mean.
Okay.
So I think that's about where we were at.
Okay.
When we all started making content together.
Yeah, so either way, it was like, it's grown a lot in the last, like,
2 years.
2 years. Like, yeah.
I think we have 107,000 on TikTok now.
Yeah, which is awesome.
Which I think is really great, especially because I know for 100% fact that we're shadow banned. Because when I'm on my own personal account and I look up Naked Peach, it does not come up until I type out the full name.
Yeah, you got to type out Naked Peach Boudoir to find us on TikTok.
So I feel like to have that many followers with so much working against us, we even got our account taken down for almost a day.
Oh my God, scariest day of my life, dude.
Yeah. I just feel like 107,000 is amazing.
Yeah, so, well, it's amazing, but it's also, like, I feel like from the beginning, like, one thing, like, you've always talked about with our content is, like, let's just try it. Like, you're always, like, of course, like, we'll, like, listen to, like, trends, or we'll try trending sounds, or, like, we'll do certain things that we know, like, couldn't work, but, like, we're, like, you're never, like, oh, like, this is the only thing that works, so we're doing this. It's, like, okay, let's just try it, let's see what happens, and then let's take what we learned and we tweak it, and I feel like that's always been your strategy across all our platforms, and it's good.
Thank you.
That's what's, really nice about having a business is, like, it changes month to month, and you have to be, like, able to adapt and move with it and, like, really play around with, like, what works and what doesn't, because what might have worked a year ago is not going to work now.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's always changing. Okay, another thing I highly recommend. So, something I have been asked multiple times is, what books do you recommend for content creation, branding, marketing, all of that? And I don't. Like, I've read lots of books like that, and if you really want like a branding book, I can give some recommendations, but ultimately the best place to find recommendations for marketing, content strategy, branding is TikTok. Search the question that you have about whatever piece you're trying to figure out, search it in TikTok and watch the videos that show up. When you like a video, save it, follow that creator, watch their other videos, and you'll get so much good advice. There's so many people out there giving free advice on how to do this well. And like my For You page, I get so much of this stuff and I save a lot of it. I get a lot of ideas from there. But, you know, I don't, like at this point, the people who have the best and most innovative information, it's not like a book that was published 6 months ago. It's somebody who made a TikTok yesterday. And you should be using TikTok like a search engine for these types of questions. So that's my recommendation for like how to, you know, find somebody who can give you like a content strategy guide or a get started guide or whatever. Just search TikTok for it.
Especially if it's on that platform. Like if you're trying to do it for TikTok, get on TikTok.
Exactly.
Like, yeah.
Yeah. The last part that we have on here is about putting ourselves out there and being vulnerable.
Yeah, let's talk about that. Okay, because I feel like I will get a lot of people that will be like, I can't believe you guys, like, especially on the podcast, like, I can't believe you're talking about that, or I can't, like, not in, like, a bad way, but just in, like, a shocked way, or, like, a, I don't know if, like, I would, like, be
or
as
like a shock
unfiltered.
website from 2008.
And I think you have to, like, well, one, like I said earlier, I think a lot of it is genuine, right? It's, like, this is just what we talk about, so, like, we're here talking about it, or, like, you know, we're in our content talking about it, but that's part of it. And, like, another part of it is, like, I just have to like not give a fuck. Like you have to have this level of like I'm just out here doing me and like I give zero fucks. And I try to like that Instagram account Influencers in the Wild, you know, like I love following that, and it's like every time I look at it I get this one part of like, oh my god, cringe. It's like so embarrassing, like I would die if someone like captured me doing this. But on the other hand, I'm also like, but good for that person, and like I love that and I'm here for it. And I like almost everyone that's like staring, it's like those are people too that are like, oh, I want to grow my Instagram, or I want to do, you know, it's
yes,
like, but
and they're
this
too
person's
scared
doing
to,
it, you know. And so it's like, I think you have to just let go of things that are hard to let go of. And we all work on this, like we were talking about the resolutions. It's always a journey, but it's like you just have to do it, and then like consistently do it and try. And like one thing I do is like I like literally never read the comments like ever on TikTok, because it's
I don't
like
either.
I'll read a couple and then I'm like, I'm good, I don't need to see any of this, because people are crazy. But it's like you just have to like not let that into your life.
Well, I was gonna say I do read them, but I will say truly, since the beginning, they don't bother me.
Yeah,
because they're a grain of sand.
I can't relate.
On an endless beach. I don't know. I just like out of sight, out of mind. I'm like, I don't know you. That's like whenever I do something really, really embarrassing in public, I'm like, I'm never going to see any of these mofos again. And then I drive home.
I will admit that I still struggle with this. I think I've gotten a lot better at it over time. But, you know, we had one TikTok that went really viral where people were making really nasty comments about my body in it. And I had a really hard time with that one. And I think there was even a point where you guys were saying like, oh, we should repost that video as like one of our most viewed videos of 2021. And I was like, no, I don't want to. I don't want to deal with it. Even though it had like millions of views, I was just like, I can't, like my mental health can't.
Yeah.
That's how you know when a video is doing well. The nastier the comments get, the better the video goes. And it like sucks. And it like, I know it's a little bit derailed, but always is like, so like I could never imagine writing a comment like that ever, anywhere, at any time. I have never written a mean comment anywhere.
Yeah.
Exactly. Like, think about the type of person who's like, I'm going to sit here and tell this person that they look fat in this video.
Yeah.
Like, that
Also,
person is a literal piece of shit. Like, why do I give a fuck what that person thinks about me?
Yeah.
That's why I also don't understand too when I go to celebrities, like, pages, and there'll be, like, 100,000 comments, and, like, half of them are just mean, and it's like, you think this person even, like, manages their own Instagram? Like, what are you getting out of this? Like, shouting into a literal black void. Like, you're fat and ugly. Like, where's it going? Like, what? Like, that says more, like, about you as a person, like, that you're getting some sort of satisfaction or, like, happy feelings when you do that.
You're a sad person, you know?
Yeah.
Your life is sad if you're out there.
Sad little angry buddy.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone listening to this podcast does comment like rudely on other people's things
You
like
never
this.
know.
But if
people hate listen.
Yeah, if you like
Hate listen, yeah, they hate listen, they hate comment,
But like I want to know. Like I would literally be genuinely curious to hear from somebody if they do like say really horrible things to celebrities online. It's just like what like one, how do you have the time in your life to do this? I'm genuinely interested.
And like why? What do you think is happening?
Why? And like what is the thought process? Because it's like, yeah, I've never I can understand scrolling and having a thought cross your mind, but then to be like, oh, I'm gonna
Those
write
pants
it.
are ugly.
I'm gonna comment.
Okay.
Like,
should we bring a hater onto our podcast?
Yeah, I guess
should we bring someone who's like, wow, look at all those lints on your pants? Like, what?
Dude, yeah, people freak about the lint. Well, I had, like, over the summer, it wasn't even, like, just on my personal TikTok, the one of, like, Sophia in the stroller, and I was like, it was really funny of her on the cobblestones, and I had so many psychotic comments. People were fighting each other in the comments, and I stopped reading. I literally never responded to any of the comments. There was, like, only one or two of, like, it was, like, Amanda and somebody else that commented, but, like, people were, like, so what had happened was she's in the stroller, we're pushing her on cobblestones, and it's just like, it looks really funny because she's like jostled and she's like laughing, and it's hilarious. And I like what had like, so we had a pacifier, which like she doesn't even take her pacifier. We just were like kept trying to like have her take it if she wanted it, but she never did. And we clipped it onto the strap because we were on the cobblestones, and it's like she's not strapped into this thing because it's like we're just like pushing her around. But anyway, people freaked out about the pacifier being clipped to the straps, and we're just like this is like, because apparently it frees them. I don't know. And we never do this. Like I said, we just did it because we're like, oh, we're on these cobblestones. And
you don't want it to like fly out.
Yeah, and they freaked out, and people are like fighting. They're like, well, this is like Europe. This isn't America. Like blah blah blah, just going back and forth. And I was like, this is psycho. And then people telling me I'm giving her like shaken baby syndrome, and people telling me all these things, and I'm just like.
But then and then in another video they'll see like a dad throwing the kid up in the air. And then be like, oh, what a good dad. Oh, what such fun. But even though, like, there's a more higher probability of something dangerous happening to that baby than your baby being jostled on fucking cobblestones.
Yeah. Well, and it's just funny, too, because it's, like, it's maybe, like, a 7-second clip, you know, of, like, it's, you could take so much from that video, too, but it's also so much can be, like, out of context, you know? And, like, that's, like, I feel like an analogy of the whole internet. It's just, like, everything that you're seeing on there, it's, like...
It's always assumptions, and assumptions are dangerous.
At all. Yeah.
Like, quit assuming.
Yeah.
That you clip that thing on there 24/7, and then you're gonna get into a wreck, and it's just gonna unravel.
I know, dude. I know. It's wild.
It's so wild. I mean, yeah. I think one of the things that can be hard about what we do is because we do so many posing videos, is we're showing our bodies a lot.
Yeah.
And that is something that can feel really scary. And I've definitely had moments where I like see the video afterwards and I'm like, okay, I don't love that. I don't love what's happening here. But it's like, you know, it's whatever. Like the thing that's important about it is that like we're putting out content that people want to see, and they're not thinking about the people who are actually getting value from the content are not thinking about what my chin looks like in the video. You know, they're thinking about.
You've gotten a lot better. In the beginning, we threw out a lot of videos, but now I feel like we're all just like. Send it. Like,
yeah.
It's good enough.
We know that it's not about us anymore. Yeah. You know, it's about the content and it's about our audience getting value out of it. It's not about anything. It's not personal. It's
It's informational.
But it's not like, it's not about me and my body image. Like, yeah. But I think that can be really hard for people. It's scary to, you know, show yourself out there. But I have found that like, the vast majority of people who interact with content, even though there are haters out there, and when you get a video that really pops off and gets millions of views and goes viral, you will get those nasty haters who think they can say whatever they want and there's not a human who's going to read it. But the vast majority of people are so nice and so complimentary, and I have gotten more out of putting myself out there, like more positive like feelings and self-confidence than I have like negative, of people being like, oh my God, this looks so good. You look so good. Like just the things people say. And like, I don't know, like I never would have experienced that if I hadn't been willing to be in the videos and make the videos and show my body and put myself out there. And now, you know, I feel like I'll have people who be like, I'm in Taylor's ass fan club or whatever.
Yeah, you know? She has a cult following now.
But it's like if I had never made videos, I would never even know that people looked at me that way, you know? Yeah. It's like you don't know how other people see you. I mean, that's why we do Boudoir in general, but like when it comes to making content, you don't know how other people are going to respond to you and what's going to resonate with them and what is going to click with them or make them feel seen, you know, by seeing you do this thing or whatever. I don't know. I feel like that got kind of like deeper than I intended it to.
Well, I mean, the comments are like a spiral.
Yeah.
And it's true. I think that like definitely the more we post, the more or the easier it gets, you know, just as like anything would. But I pick myself apart a lot less now than I did a year and a half ago, you know, and part of that is just the fact that it's like I'm always on camera now and nobody notices, like you said, the things I notice. And I see that in image reveals every single week. It's like things that people will notice about themselves, the stuff I never notice about photos and vice versa, you know? Also, just like show your like photos to a friend. Your friend's never going to sit there and look at the stuff that you sit there and look at, you know? So people don't even like notice that stuff.
Yeah. We're all our own worst critic, and it applies to making content too.
Yeah.
Also, I just want to say, like, before Naked Peach, I had never made content, like been paid to make TikTok videos for a brand. I've been making content and doing social media, but like, I feel like TikTok was really started to take off right when we started working together. So I just that hadn't been a big part of my career yet. Like, I just made videos of me and my fucking cat. And, you know, like that was it. And so it's not like I was like, you know, oh, I'd been making TikToks for Chase Financial or something, Chase Bank. Like we literally learned all of this as we went. And I just say that because hopefully that's empowering to people who haven't started, that like, it's okay to learn as you go. It's okay to start when you don't know what you're doing. Like, you don't have to be an expert.
Anyone can do it.
Yeah, exactly. People are going viral and getting followers on TikTok every day.
If I can do it as someone who was a dropout and had a baby at 18 and was a stay-at-home mom for 10 years, then you can do it too.
Yes, honey.
Yes.
What were you going to say? Sorry.
No, I lost it. I don't know. But I agree. I mean, well, like you said, like people are going viral every day. And it's like, I think, especially now, it's the people who, like, their content is different that makes it stand out and makes people want to follow it, you know? So it's like, if you sit and you have this whole plan of, like, okay, I'm going to, like, study all these videos. I'm going to try to, like, make mine look like this. And I'm going to, it's like, of course, there's trends you can pick up on. But at the end of the day, it's like, people are going to come to you because a unique perspective that you bring to your own, like, channel or something. And so that can't be taught. You have to just, like, play and figure it out and figure out what you want to put out there and then just do it, and then people are going to like it.
Yeah, and you have to be yourself.
Yeah. And be brave.
And live, laugh, love.
Yeah, live, laugh, love.
This is basically my conversation with Esme every morning after school.
Be brave.
We're going to be brave. We're going to be smart. We're going to be compassionate.
I love that.
We talk about that all the time.
That's great.
But sometimes she's me.
Yeah, I don't know. If anyone needs, like, anyone to hype them up, just like DM us and we'll hype you up to like put yourself out there.
Yeah. And that's our manifesto on building a brand and creating content.
All right, let's go into our obsessions.
Yes. I'm going to go last.
Okay, Sierra?
Shit. Okay. So I just downloaded this new app and Oscar said you might have used it. It's called Blinkist.
No, I haven't.
Anyways, I downloaded it and I'm very obsessed with it. It's like Spark Notes for audiobooks. So, like, I like to read a lot of self-help books, but I find them very long and very repetitive. Yeah, I really liked Atomic Habits, but I feel like the information in that book could have been like 20 pages. But that's what this app does, is it takes those books and reduces it to about 15 minutes to, like, get the gist of it. And then it's in an audiobook format.
That's so
you
cool.
can just listen to them. The only downside to me is that I didn't actually read the book, so I can't mark it off on my Goodreads. But I really like it because I don't really like reading self-help books because, again, they take so much of my time because they're very repetitive and the information in them could have been told in 20 minutes. And that's what this app is. And they do it for podcasts too.
Oh, interesting.
Like, so they'll get, like, the gist of a podcast and, like, put it down, and I really like it.
That's cool.
Can you read it too, or is it just audio?
You can read it too. They have audio and reading.
Wow.
Isn't it cool?
Crazy.
Yeah.
Wait, how is it? Do you pay? Is it free?
Yeah, it's like $15 a month, or if you pay for the year, it's like $8 a month. I just started with the $15 one to see if I like it. But yeah, so far I really, really like it.
I might have to check this out. I've definitely been getting ads for it lately. Maybe because it's like the beginning of the year, and so everyone's like productivity, like whatever. But I had never talked to somebody that's actually used it before, so
yeah,
this is inspiring.
And Oscar, when he saw it, he's like, "Oh my god, I need to do that too," because he also like sucks at reading and has a hard time. Like, we have Audible, and like the whole thing is full of half listened to books for him, and they have like almost all the titles that like I've wanted to read, like the 7 whatever effective habits, you know, whatever that book was.
Oh, like the 7 Habits of Highly
Yes,
Effective
they have
People.
like that. They just have all the like, they have like so many titles. So yeah.
Okay, my obsession this week. Okay, you guys, I haven't talked about this before. Wait, no, I forgot.
The way
Okay.
like the light bulb turned on.
No, I had a couple I was trying to debate between, but I'll do this one. Okay, so Julia, my friend Julia, lives on this farm over like by the coast in Washington. I'm not gonna get too deep on her location. Let's not. Yeah, there's this farm that's near her farm that has they have bees, and the bees live next to these like blackberry bushes, and so they pollinate the blackberry bushes, and their honey is like literally infused with it like tastes like blackberry honey. And for Christmas, Julia got me a whole new large jar of it, and I have been making crepes on the weekends, and I will put that honey all over it.
Put that on my
and
birthday list, y'all.
It is the best honey. It, like when I first tried it from her and I got a jar, I literally would just like daily just take spoonfuls and eat spoonfuls of this honey by itself. It is
It's good for your allergies.
the best honey I've ever had in my entire life. And now I have a brand new jar thanks to Julia.
Well, could you imagine like getting a bowl of blueberries and then like drizzling a little bit of that honey on top?
Yeah, just delicious. It's so good.
That sounds so good.
So good. Yeah.
I'll have to get the name from you.
Yeah, I can there's like a little market there too that sells it, so I'll buy you guys some honey next time I go out there.
Yes, please.
Yeah.
It's like the
Thanks.
fine and raw, the honey.
I know. I
All
have
the
a
spreads.
whole little jar or a whole little section in my cabinet that's like now my like baking and sweets section. And wait, no, I have
Like,
another.
who is this
I
girl
know.
now? You little sweet girl
I
now.
have one more obsession I'll add. Just because anyone can buy this, it's like local, but there, or I don't know if there's a new ice cream that we've tried recently. Like they have these like little tiny half pints. Is that what like the little ones are?
I don't know.
Or just like a small thing of ice cream. I think it's like Strauss Farms or Strauss.
I've seen those.
It's like organic. This is the best ice cream I've ever had in my entire life. It's so sweet. It's so creamy. It's so
I always
like,
see it when I go to New Seasons and Whole
Yeah.
Foods, but obviously I cannot eat it.
yeah.
But I'm always like, damn, those flavors look fly.
It's so good. Taylor, you gotta try it.
What flavor are you eating?
We tried the vanilla bean, and then we had like a vanilla with like chocolate chips in it kind of thing.
Is it better than Salt and Straw?
Yes. It's so good, dude.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm gonna need a second opinion here.
Yeah. Well, luckily for you, I just started my period, so I need some sweets today.
Yeah, go to the store
Today.
today. It's so good. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. I'll be trying that. So my obsession today is something probably everyone has heard of, but I recently got it in my house and I feel like I've been getting a lot of compliments on it. And so I just want to share it with the people in case there's anybody who doesn't know about it. It's the Frame TV. We got the 65-inch Frame TV, so it's fucking huge.
I'm fucking so jealous.
We got it for Black Friday, so it was cheaper than what it would normally be. And then instead of sticking with the frame that comes with it, which is like barely a frame, it's like a tiny little lining around the edge, we went to I think the website is Deco Frames. I'll link this in our story and we'll link it in the episode description, but we bought like an ornate gold frame so that it looks like, you know, more like a museum frame, like gold with lots of like stuff going on. And it literally took 2 seconds to like, it clips onto the outside of the TV basically. And I just love it so much. And now almost every morning when I'm waiting for my coffee to brew, I'll go on the frame and I'll go through like all the art and I'll pick a new picture each day for like whatever vibe I'm feeling that day. And just as someone who's like never fully satisfied with my space and always wants to like rearrange and redesign things, it's fun to have something so impactful that I can change whenever I want. And I feel like it just makes a huge difference in our house to have this like giant piece of art basically on the wall that also serves a function as our fucking TV. So,
And I will say, it does perfectly look like art. I like that you didn't use the frame that it came with, because I feel like it does like make it look more TV-ish. Because yeah, it definitely looks like it. Ours didn't look like that, but ours got broken the move.
it's a tragedy.
It's a fucking tragedy. Lives in the garage now.
The nice thing about this website too is they have all different kinds of frames. So like we got a gold filigree one, but they have all different kinds. So they have like wood if you want more of that look. They have silver. They have different kinds of gold ones. They have ones that are even more ornate than the one that we got.
Wow.
I'm not quite ready to like share a video of my like living room yet because I feel like we still have a lot of art we need to put up. Our couch isn't here, but eventually once my living room is like more in a state of like where I want it to be, I'll share more content of like that space.
No, it looks so good. And even like I obviously know it's a TV, but every time I walk into your house, I'm like, wow. Like it really does feel like you're like coming to like a museum, and it's always different. I love it.
Yeah, we love the frame.
Okay. Fabulous. Where can people find us?
They can find us at nakedpeachboudoir.com, at Naked Peach Boudoir on all the socials. You can find me at Tsmells, TSMELLZ on all the socials.
You can find me at Anna McLaughlin Photo.
You can find me at Sierra PDX, CIARRA PDX.
And we'll see you next Tuesday.
Bye.
Bye.